What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Live at 5 brought to you by Fly World Media. That's right, it's time to get live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is. Fly World Media is in your ear right now, and here I am, your guy Z Fly, about to bring you another Tip Tuesday. That's right. I'm giving you a tip for this week to go ahead and get things started today, or to go ahead and get this week started with your tip of the week. I really like Tip Tuesday because, you know what I'm saying, it really is good to have those tips of the week that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the tips can be bad, sometimes they can be good, great, sometimes they could be right on point, and we don't want to hear it. But, you know, tips are always good for life. Tips, advice, things like that. It's always great to hear. So this week is kind of going to be a very heavy tip. Well, not heavy, but very a tip to really think about. All right, as you all know, that June is June, but now June is also can be thought of to be Pride Month. So the whole month of June is, people celebrate Pride Month and things like that. And, and this has happened, a while back now. And, June was selected to be the month that you celebrate, I guess, your sexuality or celebrate being different or whatever it may be. But June is the selected date under our month. So today's Tip Tuesday is, now, first of all, let me give you my disclaimer. Hold on, actually, before we even do the banner, let me give you my disclaimer because, like I said, I'm going to be talking about some controversial type of things. So I just want everybody to know, I know we're in a sensitive climate these days. So I'm going to be giving you my opinion. And, and I was really thinking of what to name this segment or name this, this segment, this video. I eventually thought, debunking the LGBT, but then again, that isn't good because, the LGBT consists of a lot of different people. So what I'm naming this series, and I'm calling it a series because for the whole month of June, I will be bringing you anything from Movers and Shakers Monday, Tip Tuesday, or Wondering Wednesday regarding the LGBT organization. But these series are going to be called what the LGBT won't tell you. Okay, so we are going to be real because there's a lot of things that's out there that it isn't all about just what it should be. Is showing the world differences of people. There's a lot of things going on. Some people might say agendas, and some people might say lies and half-told truths. But I'm just going to give you my opinion on things, and that's just what it is. So I'm giving my disclaimer on that. Now, also too, once again, if you watch my lives enough, then you know that I'm Z Fly, and I call myself the peculiar guy. And you're probably like, what is peculiar? Peculiar means you're odd, you're different, and you're strange. And I feel like a person needs to be odd, different, and strange to talk about a topic such as this right here. You want to know why? Because when you start talking about the LGBT, for many reasons, LG, I can't even get the words out. Good grief. Woo, the LGBT, they has a lot of different thoughts. Some people be like, some people are happy about it. But so it's like if you're talking about it, then people are like, oh, okay, he must be, what he talk, so no. I'm in the middle. Let me tell you something, because I feel like that you have to be in the middle when you talk certain topics. I also raise awareness on gynecologic cancer. Does that mean I got gynecologic cancer? So I'm so far removed from worried about what somebody's saying and they're trying to pinpoint you to, oh, he's talking about that. So no, trust me, I'm here talking about it because, like I said, there's a lot of things about it that I feel just needs to be corrected. Like I said, this is my opinion, so I'm just shedding light from my opinion. So that's my little disclaimer. I'm not trying to, talk about anybody, make anybody feel bad. I'm just giving my opinion, which we all have opinions on this topic right here. We are still allowed to have opinions, right? I'm just making sure because I definitely have an opinion. And today, and like I said, for this whole month, I will be talking about it. And like I said, telling you what the LGBT won't tell you. All right. So with that being said, if you're gonna cry, don't be crying because I didn't give you a disclaimer. Okay. All right, so here's the topic. So let's bring that topic back. All right, so today's topic is going to be for your tip Tuesday. Is when it comes to homosexuality, it's almost wise to erase everything you were taught. It goes back to the Bible days and way after, right? Even until today, obviously. And there could be bisexuals, homosexuals within your family, friends, co-workers, and etc. So let's just talk about that right there. A lot of times where, and you know what, and I have had to reprogram myself as well. And we have to, because we were all taught away, right? And it's something how across the globe, even though there's billions of people, but across the globe, I feel like we all been taught about homosexuality kind of within the same way, and some of those ways are it's wrong, it's sinful. The Bible says this about it. It's just a disgrace to the family. You don't do these things. Stay away from those people. Stop, don't do anything that may be familiar or similar to those people. All these things that we have heard throughout life. Like I said, across the globe, different nationalities have heard these things. And, it's just really something to see. But then as for me, as I got wiser and things like that, I start to see things differently. You want to know why? Because see, I have a lot of groups of types of people, of friends, from homosexuals, from bisexuals to heterosexuals. And see, whenever you have a diverse group of friends, you should, as a person, not just be hanging out with people and drinking and stuff like that. You should also be just paying attention. And because you can really learn a lot from different types of people. And then you start to realize that some of the teachings and things that we have had growing up, it ain't making sense. Something's just not making sense. And with the LGBT, I just feel like that the LGBT back in, what was it? 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there, whenever all this stuff really just started to come out with the first same-sex marriage, that's when it really started to explode. The LGBT, they had the world's attention. You heard what I said? They had the world's attention. People was like, there you go. They couldn't believe that. Wait a minute. This is on TV. They're actually showing same-sex marriage and it's being globalized and televised. What? The LGBT had everybody's attention, from heterosexuals to homosexuals. Even homosexuals were surprised that what they're actually showing same-sex marriage happening. Yeah, they had the world's attention. But do you know what the LGBT did? Whatever you call them people. Do you know what they did? Instead of really taking that time to educate the world, no, they didn't want to do that. They took it another way. They just wanted to just start showing certain types of homosexuals. Just want to keep talking about a rainbow flag. Talking about instead of really educating people. And when I say about educating people, are these things like this. That what I just said. I see a lot of people, they think that the LGBT or homosexuals are just, it has a look, right? It's a certain type of people. It has a look. It's in a different sector of the world. Oh, it's those people over there. Yes, stay away from those people, and why you talking about those people could be right in your house. But did LGBT educate on that? They was too busy talking about, the movement of the drag queens, talking about the movement of the transgenders, talking about the movement of, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, exactly. See, a guy who looks like that could be a homosexual. But once again, were we taught that? No, we weren't taught that. We're taught that a homosexual has a certain look. If it's a guy, you're going to be really effeminate. You have feminine ways, flamboyant, something like RuPaul. You know, RuPaul, people who love RuPaul's Drag Race, that's what we have been taught that homosexual or gay looks like. And you probably noticed that I'm saying homosexuality a lot opposed to gay. I'll get into that in another live. Like I said, the whole month, I'm going to be educating you all. So I'm trying to keep things specific to the topic, but we'll get into that later, but not today. But yeah, so a homosexual, that man right there could be, he's probably online right now talking to one of his boys. Yeah, we'll get into all that stuff a little bit later. I mean, it is so much. You really have to reprogram yourself. Also too, hold on, let me go back because I made sure I made some good notes. So LGBT, they had a chance to educate, but they failed. They don't show homosexuality truthfully. And what I mean by they don't show it truthfully is like for example, this man right here could be a homosexual, but we would never think that, right? Because he reeks everything that what we taught a man looks like. Oh, look, business like. Oh, he looks masculine. Oh, nobody will look at him. Why? Because he's not looking flamboyant. He's not looking feminine. But see, the thing about it is that goes to show you that homosexuality doesn't have a look. Do you hear what I'm telling you? So if you're looking for a feminine guy or a masculine woman, you're going to be fooled for days. And we'll get into more of that at another live as well. Yeah, we'll get into these types a little later because these types are heavy in the LGBTQ and all this other stuff he's talking about. I think it's every alphabet that ends it. But now it's every alphabet but a D. Have you noticed that? And what does the D would stand for, you say? DL. Now, before this LGBT movement, we heard about DLs, undercover, but are they in the LGBT? Are they all in that? Mm-mm. A protected and respected class. So anyway, so we'll get into that later. But right now, let's stay to the topic. So yeah, homosexuality, it doesn't have a look. Anyone can be a homosexual. So like I said, we were taught that it's feminine, and I'm gonna stick with men because, and I'm not trying to declass the lesbians or the females who like females. I'm not doing that. But as we both know, girl on girl action is more accepted in society than male on male. So that's so I want to make more of a point with that, but I'm not trying to downgrade or overlook the lesbians because yes, you do exist as well. I'm going to be talking about you here and there as well, but as we all know, society, it's okay. I mean, there's girl on girl action in videos, girl on girl action in movies, a lot of stuff. So anyway, so look, construction worker, it doesn't have a look. That person, that guy right there could easily be a homosexual. And see, here's the thing that I love about guys like this, because see, most people be like, no, you're lying. Never, ever. Oh yeah, I've heard people say these things. I'm like, wow, they're not educated. But then you can't get mad at them because what have we been taught throughout history? Homosexuality also is in every ethnicity. So from some of those ethnicities who we know, like, have we heard throughout the throughout life, like the Caribbean, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, anyone in the Caribbean, Arabians, Italians, Jews, who else? The Germans. These are people that you hear, oh no, they don't like homosexuals. Oh no. They got so many homosexuals in those ethnicities I just named and races. They are in every ethnicity. Hold on. It's in every ethnicity. A lot of times we look at people's mannerisms. Like I say, if you're feminine or if you're this, then you're just gay. But if you're masculine and you got a whole bunch of girls and you're the main man on campus, then more than likely you're heterosexual. So that goes to pick the question. Then what is homosexuality or what is gay? Because if you're looking at the way someone dresses, so that's man right there, the way someone dresses, their mannerisms, and then you say, oh, okay, yeah, he acts kind of, you know what he is. But yeah, have you ever seen him with the same sex? But by the way he acts, or dresses or whatever the mannerisms may be, that's what's telling you he's gay. And that's what we've been taught, right? But a man like this will get away with murder, and they do. We'll talk about it later. Big why? Because we weren't taught that men like that are homosexual. All right. Also, too, another thing that the LGBT should have educated, in my opinion, is, once again, that you can't, honestly, what it breaks down to is you can't talk about nobody. You really can't. You want to know why? Because while a lot of people is trying, turning their nose up at these type of people, you don't know who's in your family, friends, co-workers, other network that are homosexual or that are curious. You see what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I just said that it doesn't have a look. So you might say, "Oh no, that's my cousin Debo. Oh no, Debo get all the girls in the neighborhood. Debo, all the men scared of Debo. He'll beat up everybody. Yeah, Debo just tough, right? But Debo could like men. Is he ever going to tell you? No. Are you ever going to think that? No, because of what you just said. So, why? So you can't really talk about people. You can't really be looking down at these people over here because you feel they're effeminate and they're flamboyant and all that. But then over these people over here, they're respected and protected because they're masculine. A lot of girls like them. The men respect them, but they also may like guys. So that also goes to show. So what is the problem? It's not. It can't be homosexuality that you do not like. It's the mannerisms. You don't like effeminate men. You don't like masculine women. So, because these guys over here are messing with guys, but you don't say anything about them. So, you see what I'm saying? But that's how we've been taught, right? All right. Also on the list is and also your kids as well. That's another thing. You gotta be careful with when with not understanding homosexuality. And listen, I know a lot of things I'm saying right now. Some of you all are saying, "Yeah, he lost. Yeah, he's crazy. He don't know nothing he's talking about." But you know what? But I know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to really be careful because see, I hear people saying about, "Oh yeah, this, that, and the third," and you don't know how your kids are going to grow up. Look at was it Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Dwayne Wade has a son who wants to be a transgender, and what was he, 10 or 11? He wants to be a transgender. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, okay, that's my disclaimer, they didn't know what they were doing because they sat there and took their 10 and 11-year-old to a Miami Pride event. Now, obviously, they have never been to a Pride event, and you don't got to go to one. Just Google it or just look at it on TV. Why would you want any child at the Pride events? The Pride event isn't what they're thinking. Like people just proud to be a certain thing. No, they're doing all kinds of things out there. For a 10 and 11-year-old should not be out there. And look at it. See what I'm talking about? Look. Love only knows equality. No ban. What that thing? LGBT rights are human rights. LGBT rights are human rights, but nobody even understands what LGBT is. So how in the world can you tell me something is human rights and nobody understands the LGBT, all them letters and numbers that they got? They should have been educating people and stop making it so unrelatable. That's another thing too. They make it so unrelatable. In my opinion, I feel like if they want to have a flag or something, they should have done all them colors because that to me, I'm like, are they crazy? To me, that is showing that's like an insult because that reminds me of the people who were teased. They was called fruitcake or they was called fruity and all this kind of stuff like this. And then you're gonna go make a flag with all those colors. I really feel like even though the melanin, y'all probably seen the melanin colors where it shows, it goes from dark to like light colors. And I feel like if they would have a flag, that should have been like a flag for LGBT because that's showing that all colors, all ethnicities can be, a homosexual or bisexual. Not all those colors. Nobody relates to that. the most heterosexual man, he don't want to be included in that. They're doing everything that's unrelatable. Like I just said a few minutes ago, you know, the face of LGBT is looking like a RuPaul. The face of LGBT is looking like what's that person from the Orange is Black? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't even think of her name. That's the face. But the face could easily just be a regular looking person. It could be the preacher, okay, on Sunday. It could be the firefighter. You know, it could be something that people relate to, and see something that will get people thinking. Because see, whenever they show people like RuPaul and I can't think of that person's name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That from Orange is New Black. When they show a lot of people like that, and then if you remember the Budweiser beer. Listen, all month long, be sure to tune in. I can't get all this in one live, but just tune in all month live, all month long, because we're talking about this stuff. It is ridiculous. Like I said, this series is called "What the LGBT Won't Tell You." Now, have they told you this? No, they ain't told you this because they don't want you to know. They want you to know that you can come on and get this insurance and get this sex change. Yeah, that's what they want you to know. Yeah, now somebody's getting rich. And let me tell you something. And then you all have to really start to think, okay? Once the government get involved, because y'all know the government don't just do anything. Once the government starts to get involved, it's all about a money thing. June right now, I want you to go to any store. Go to Target. Your Target is the leading force. Go to Target. You think that you stepped into an episode of Rainbow Bright. You know, y'all remember Rainbow Bright back in the day? Yeah, I take it back. They just rainbow everything. And they don't care about these people. Now, yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but I just felt they don't really care. You want to know why? Because it is a moneymaker. You know, these businesses have realized that, these homosexuals, they will come out and play. How you gonna have Pride every month? You know, I said the month of June is supposed to be Pride Month, but if you go and look at almost every month is Pride Month. You go somewhere on this planet, they're having a Pride. And that's another thing too. I want to now keep in mind what I just said. Almost everywhere on this planet, I saw they had prides in they're everywhere. Israel, Jerusalem, Africa, London. Look at that. See, yeah, they're all in Israel. Sure am. Now y'all might say, "Well, how you know all this? You know a lot." All this stuff is in plain sight. Go to your apps, Tubi. Any app you got, and just pull up the stuff. You can see documentaries, and some of y'all might say, "Well, why do I want to see a documentary about that?" That ain't me. I don't subscribe to that lifestyle. It don't matter if you subscribe to the lifestyle. You should want to know what's happening around you. You should want to know what is putting out there that your children could be reading about, that your whomever could be seeing. This isn't like, it ain't like it used to be back in the day where it's like, shh, we don't talk about that. No, it's all up in your face. I heard what's his name? Boozy, Little Boozy, what his name is, that rapper. He's a mean son of a something, but he even had to admit, he said they're running the world. Yeah, he said they're running the world. So if someone is running the world, you might want to know what is their next move. Because they might be up in your house telling you what you're going to do. Because they're already up into elementary schools. And see, that's another thing too. See, the LGBT, they're not trying to educate. They're just trying to infiltrate. And they're just trying to just be all up in people's houses and telling your kids it's okay to change your sex and all this stuff. The kid can't even buy beer, but he can go have a sex change. So that's why I said the LGBT has got off course. They should be educating people on the reality of homosexuality. Now, in my opinion, and I know my opinion is very unpopular, but in my opinion, homosexuality is as common as heterosexuality, and also as natural. Now, I know we're going to get into it, because I know some of y'all Bible bumpers out there saying, wait a minute now. I was kind of following him till he said that. But just wait a minute, listen. Because you know what? Once again, remember I said I have all, okay, thank you. See, when I say my director be on it, yeah. Now, y'all can tell that's from a period that ain't today. And we talking about some Bible times. And another thing, think about it. Okay, hold on. I'm about to switch gears to the Bible time, but let me say this first. It's as natural as homosexuality. I'm sorry, my mind. It's as homosexuality is as natural as heterosexuality. Because some people say, "Oh no, it's a choice. It's a choice." Have you ever sat there and think, why would people choose to be ridiculed? Why would people choose to be stoned, to be killed, to be all these things? You know, you got to remember there are still some. I believe still today there are still some countries who will jail you, who will kill you for liking the same sex. Who would choose to? There are a lot of men, and we'll get into this at another live, who sneak around so much on their wives, um, just to be with another, just to be with the same sex. Why are they choosing to do? You think about it. You already got a wife, you got a nice house, you got children. Why you want to mess that up? But there is something that's ending that they just can't help themselves. We'll get into that another live. So yeah, look at that. The Bible times, the Bible times, the Bible times. So it is. Think about the army. Okay, there are. We're not gonna talk about the army. Duh. I'll be here till let some go talk to some of them those military people. They'll tell you some the stories. You got to start listening to these stories. See, I understand it's hard to reprogram yourself, right? When you have traditions and your spiritual and religions that says something totally different. But then when you start hearing the reality, because see, there's still a reality there that we have to face. People can tell you stories, and I'm gonna tell you some stories in this whole month of June. Y'all better be ready. Plus, there's billions of people in the world. Now, do you really expect everyone to be a heterosexual? That doesn't seem realistic. There's billions of people in the world. Are everybody God-fearing? Do everybody believe in God? You know, so everybody's not going to be on the same accord anyway. So I don't know why when homosexuality comes up, it's just like, that's so shocking to people. You know, like I said, I really don't think it is the homosexuality act. I really think that it is the mannerism. I don't think people like all this colorism, what they call these colors. Also, too, you got to be careful because whenever you would think of the rainbow before, what would you think of? Wasn't the rainbow a promise from God that He would never flood the earth again? Now, when you see the rainbow, what do you think of? Well, you know, like what's the first thing that popped in your head? I'm just saying. Y'all can think about these. I'm just telling y'all what the LGBT won't tell you. Now, y'all can sit here and think I'm crazy. Well, that's fine. I don't care. Let me tell you, I've been called worse names than crazy. Okay, what else? I got my notes. I'm gonna make sure I hear everything. Also, too, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, you know, the Bible says this." Let's go ahead and get into the Bible right quick, and then we can do that. Okay. So yeah, I got those. So real quick. So the Bible says we'll talk about marriage. Okay, marriage. Genesis 1:27 through 28. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. And have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds. Okay, Matthew 19 verses 4 through 6 says, haven't you read, he replied, that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female and said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one. Therefore, what God has joined together, let man not separate. Malachi 2, verse 15 says, did he not make them one with a portion of the Spirit in their union? And what was the one God seeking? Godly offspring. So guard yourselves in your spirit, and let none of you be faithless to the wife of your mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. Now, with all that being said, so that is what the Bible says about the marriage, male and female being created to become as one. Correct. There'll be a lot of people's argument. Yeah, God made man for woman, woman for man. That is very true. But guess what? Keep in mind, homosexuality was back in the Bible days. And I just told you a few minutes ago that there are billions of people on this earth. So they're going to show you, even with all the people, same sex liking people, it didn't stop what God intended. There's still babies being created. And mind you, a lot of these women and men who are having children. Oh, okay, that was shady. Now a lot of these women and children who are having having children, they like the same sex. A lot of people, I know you don't believe in bisexuality. People say, oh, no, that's not a thing. You're either this or that. But that is so not true. There's so many gray areas. That's why I say you really have to educate yourself. Trust me, I used to think the same way. We all, a lot, but you have to educate yourself, and you start to realize that we've been lied to here and there. Now, also, too, with the Bible, I am not going against anything that the Bible is saying. So all you Bible thumpers out there saying, no, he's treaded on light. No, what is it? What is he saying? I'm not saying anything about the Bible. What I'm saying is, yes, God said that man is for female, female is for man. He created them to be one. He created them to procreate, and but with billions of people on earth, you got to realize that everybody's not going to want to be married. Everybody's not going to want children. And God knew this. Hey, you think I'm the only one that knows this. God knew this, So he knows everybody's not going to want to be married. Everybody's not going to want to have children. Some people can't have children because of medical reasons. So whenever we put these verses on billions of people and thinking that this is how it's supposed to be, that's almost like we're robots, right? Everybody's not even want to be married. Everybody's not going to like the opposite sex and all these things. So that's all I'm saying about those verses. And trust me, like I said, with billions of people in the world and with all the bisexuals and homosexuals, or I'll say homosexuals, there are still billions of people on earth because bisexuals, so, they go back and forth. They like both. So you're going to have children. We're going to be what's the record? I can't say the word procreating anyway. There are still going to be children and people here on earth. Okay, also too, now let's get into the practice of homosexuality. It's a sin and it violates God's commandments. All right, Romans 1:26-27 says, because of this, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged natural relations for unnatural ones. And in the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed indecent acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their perversion. Leviticus 18, chapter 18, verse 22 says, do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable. Romans 1:18 through chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their righteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is the plain to them, because God has shown it to them. And Jude chapter 7 says, just as Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, which likewise indulge in sexual immorality and pursued unnatural desire, serve as an example by undergoing a punishment of eternal fire. So yes, that is what a lot of people know that the Bible says about homosexuality. It's an abomination. You'll be in eternal hellfire forever. It's detestable. That is very correct. So I'm not going against anything the Bible's saying. Oh, now I love my director. That she's shady now. I thought I was shady. She's shady now, exactly. But with all those scriptures, now, I'm not going against it. I'm not. But I feel like somehow we have to still think. You got to. Then what I mean by think is, I'm not saying the Bible was created by men. The Bible was written centuries ago. It has been passed down from so many different hands. You got to understand that. I'm not saying this happened, but however, you got to. Some people could say, "Oh, I don't like this." Or I don't like to see the same sex together, so I'm gonna put this in the Bible. I'm pretty sure, cause a lot of times we as humans, we speak for God. I'm not saying this is what happened, but what I am saying is, look at this. Homosexuality has went back to the Roman days, to the Viking days, to all these type of eras in life. Now look at these Vikings. These are what you would never think would like the same sex. Now, yeah. Roman days, Viking days. You know what? Hold on. I got some notes for you. There were even times where homosexually, that's why I said homosexually. For some men, as long as they got married and produced an heir, they were then allowed to sleep with whomever. Men like this right here, you have to see, a lot of us, we don't know our history, and we don't want to know the history, because then you got to reprogram what you've been taught. But it's good to reprogram what you was taught, because then you start being ignorant. They want to keep you. Men who look like this, they had what we call today twinks, or like submissive looking men who would worship muscle men. Yeah, back in the Roman and Vikings, they would have, I'm just saying, documentaries are out there. You don't got to believe me. Just start researching this stuff. They had men like this. They would have their wives, but you know, women didn't have no rights and stuff. So these men will have what they call like submissive, flamboyant, effeminate guys to take care of their sexual needs. A lot of times you also got to think that the libido of a man and a woman are totally different. You know, women, they'll have sex for a while, but then they're sick of it. Men, they ain't sick of it. So now if your wife is sick of sex, what are you going to do? You're either going to go find another woman, and then she gets to the same point where she's sick of it. But a lot of times two men with the same type of libido, okay, y'all fill in the blanks. You know, this is what I'm saying. You know, we have to think. Now, see, once again, is the LGBT telling you that, oh, this right here is also homosexuality. It also looks like this. Are they telling you that? No. I wish we would have had a picture of RuPaul, because that's what it's telling you, what it looks like. Rainbow colors, RuPaul, that other person from Orange is the New Black, all these drag queens that's out there. They're not telling you that. And see, and I feel like if this right here was more out there, you would have to stop and be like, wait a minute now. What are you trying to say? These type of men, women love these type of men. And then to have to actually be thinking like, wait a minute, my husband looks, this type of man I will go for. Yeah, women. We'll talk about that later. Some of y'all husbands, they have a lot of extracurricular activities. Y'all better tune in next week for my Wondering Wednesday. Yeah, I'm telling you all about it. Also, too, some highlights, or not highlights, but also some more realities is these are documentaries. So if y'all think Z-Fly, he just talking out here. Documentaries. There are documentaries available that the LGBT will never tell you. There are about the Boy Scouts. Now, y'all remember the Boy Scouts, don't you? I can't remember what platform it is, but there is so sad. It was a platform. It was a documentary about the Boy Scouts, and it was saying how the teachers will run through these boys. You know, they would just do all kinds of things to the boys. Not only that, there was Boy Scouts all throughout the country. They were messing with these boys so bad that the teachers, or what are they called them, the count teachers, that they be talking amongst each other like, they would tell each other what's the best camp to go to that has the best type of boys. Do you hear what I'm telling you? And mind you, these men that weren't flamboyant, they weren't effeminate, they probably had wives and girlfriends, and they look like them men that we just saw a few minutes ago. You know, just your regular everyday guy. Oh yeah. Then they showed some of their professions, they was only at the camp for the summer. So, they had other professions. Some of their professions were policemen, preachers, construction. You name it. White collar jobs is what these men, keep in mind they're men, these men who were teachers at the Boy Scouts were messing with men. Now, we heard what the Bible just said, right? But you just got to start thinking. Now, wait a minute Now, I know these men know what the Bible say, and they know what society say about homosexuality. Why would they be all these girls out here? Why would they choose boys? You got to start thinking deeper, people. You can't just start thinking, I say it's natural. Y'all say it's a sin. Well, according to the Bible, it is a sin. But these are still natural feelings that these men are having. So why are you just choosing? Now, some of y'all would say, oh, well, they're sick. Oh, they're just sick. Okay, well, there's a lot of sick people out there. If that's the case, it's okay to, what they're doing is sick, yes. But it's okay you label them really quick with, oh, they're sick or this, that. But then you got to think deeper. Well, why are there so many men in so many sectors of the world? Remember, we try to put it in a box. Oh, no. David said there's 1% what was it, 1 to 10% of homosexuals in the world. When I heard that, I bust out laughing. I would put money, and this is just me, I would put money that in the world that there are, and the minimum, I don't know, I would say there's more than half of the population. Y'all know, y'all like, what? You crazy. And the minimum, I would say 50% of population. Want to know why? Because whenever they do those tallies, like, oh, who's a homosexual? Da, 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 that's only people who don't care anymore, who just giving up. They're out. They don't care. But are the DLs, are they taking these tallies and things? Are the married men, are they? You don't know what person's thinking. So yeah, my opinion would say more than half, and my minimum would be half. So hold on, let me check out my temperature. So yeah, so it's really good to understand what homosexuality is, just sexuality. We know a lot of us growing up, we never even really understand sexuality. We're killing a lot of people. You all are killing the youth. You're killing the youth because since you did not understand homosexuality, there's so many youth from present to past who probably can tell you how they were banned from the church. They were banned from their home, put out to the streets. Now the streets are raising them. And then you wonder why they turned out the way they were. Why? Because once a person found that their child is a homosexual or you like the same sex, they put them out. There wasn't no love or understanding or trying to get to understand what's going on. Just you put them out. The church banned you. So when you hear these type of things, is that what Jesus was saying? Oh yeah, they're this, banned them out. Because now the same Jesus that y'all say, well, oh, Jesus, God said it's an abomination and hates the homosexuals. But then Jesus was on earth and he hung out with the homosexuals, the drunks, the thieves, the prostitute. He hung around with some of everybody. So that's why I said something ain't making sense. Now, is their approach? Look at this. Is their approach right? Look at them colors. Maybe not. But you have to understand that these people are in your family. They could be your parents. We don't know what our parents done back in college days. We don't know what our parents could have been like curious about. Just because people show us a certain thing, you are not my mom, not my dad, not my grandma. Well, a lot of these men went to back in the day. They went to Army. And I remember a guy told me, and I was couldn't believe it. I think he needed to get it off of his chest. I'll never say any names. I'm not saying any names, period. But a guy told me he just vented, just vomited how his experience in the Army. He went in at 19 years old. And that's another thing too. We got to remember that back in the day, these revolutionary wars, those wars back then, World War I, II, III, all this stuff. These people were young, 19, 18, and you're in there with older men, a whole bunch of men together, no women anywhere. Okay. So he told me just how he was used and abused in the Army by men. So, these men are fighting for the country, but they have extracurricular activities. If you don't believe me, you can check it out on YouTube, on documentaries, how they had, usually the submissive type of male would just go from camp to camp in the Army, camp to camp, servicing the men. So, but yet we're talking about, oh no, it's only effeminate guys. Oh no, it's only the rainbow people. Other things you can check out as well would be, hold on, where is it at? I said the Boy Scouts. Hugh Hefner. Yeah, remember the pimp daddy of all pimp daddies, Playboy. He has a documentary, The Women Are Talking, and some of his girlfriends said that he had a male lover. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all check it out. That might be on Hulu. Okay, the World Trade Center, the first two original towers, they have I don't remember what platform this is, but they have a documentary talking about the sex acts that happened on the 12th floor at one of the old World Trade Center buildings. On the 12th floor, it was almost an orgy amongst men. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Men. No women were there. It was men. Then they will go down in the elevator. There was an elevator, a parking lot where they will go, and if you don't believe me, there's a documentary. And the last thing is Washington, D.C. Okay. That's all I should be able to say is Washington, D.C. But they said Washington, D.C., they said that you can't throw a stick without hitting a homosexual. They're talking about from people from the senators to the Congress, the judges. You can't throw a stick in Washington, D.C. without hitting a homosexual. But yet y'all are saying there's 1 to 10%. And keep in mind, we also talking about bisexuals. That means a part of them still likes the same sex. 1 to 10%. And I said the world. It's in every ethnicity. Yeah, if you don't believe me, do your research. You don't have to believe nothing I'm saying. See, I'm so confident in what I'm saying. It's out there, but a lot of people, you don't want to believe it. Because like I said, the LGBT is not going to tell you this. They don't want you to know this. They want you to know their agenda, whatever that may be. Yeah, and really when it comes to homosexuality, that, some people are just naturally attracted to the same sex. Like a man might just be attracted to another man, whether it's just his body style, his muscle, just whatever. Maybe he's not attracted to what women, offer, and it's vice versa. Some women, they are attracted to women's breasts. They're attracted to the curves of a woman. I hear a lot of women who are disgusted in how a penis look, So, that's what I'm saying. It's just sad that we never understood just sexuality in a whole, how a woman could be attracted to another woman and why, how a man could be attracted to another man and why, not that, oh, it's wrong. Oh, and all this stuff, in the Bible, I asked an aunt of mine who's very religious. In the Bible, I asked her how many times is prostitution brought up in the Bible, and I think she said 28 times. And I asked her how many times is homosexuality brought up in the Bible, and she said 5. And mind you, the Bible speaks heavily, 28 times heavily on prostitutes, how men should stay away from loose type of women, how men should not indulge in with prostitutes. But what do men today like to do? They love the loose women. They love prostitutes. They're even condoning sex work. Listen, don't get mad at me. I'm just saying remember, if we're gonna talk about the Bible, remember, y'all love the Bible. So that's what the Bible says. Now, once again, this live is not defending homosexuals or bisexuals. This live is educating. I'm trying to get people to see what's happening. The Bible, yes, says these things. Reality is happening. Okay. And also, too, now let's get into some 10 commandments. Y'all ready for this? The 10 commandments are 1, thou shalt have no other gods but me. Okay. How many people don't even believe in God? Okay. Number 2, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. How many people y'all know use the Lord's name in vain all the time? Thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy. Okay. Many religions can't even figure out what day is holy. Some people is Sunday, some people is Saturday, some people is Friday. See what I'm saying? Not on one accord. Thou shalt honor father and mother. Well, we already know people cuss people parents out so bad. Thou shalt not kill. They stay killing. Okay, go to the Bronx. They killing right now. Number 6, thou shalt not commit adultery. Now we're not going to. Okay. Listen, divorce rates are so high these days. People don't even want to get married, and because they say that people are going to cheat. Thou shalt not steal. I had a friend tell me the other day that people are stealing so bad from these stores, and he condoned it. He said, times are hard, so I get why people are stealing. But you know what? Don't you love how people pick and choose and modify? Now listen what I just said. They modified the scriptures. They modified the commandments to make it right. So remember earlier I said, I'm not saying but what the Bible is saying about homosexuality. I'm not taking up for it. But see how people modify the 10 commandments? A friend of mine said, yeah, but, times are hard and, people got to do what they got to do. But is that what this says? Thou shalt not steal unless you're in a crisis. Is that what it's saying? Okay. Number 8, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Please. Do not let, number 9, do not let thyself lust after thy neighbor's wife. I mean, there's so many stories with number 9. And number 10, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, nor his farm, nor his cattle, or nor anything that is his. Now, those are the 10 commandments. Now, one thing I want to say about this, once again, I am not taking up for the LGBT, but homosexuality did not make the top 10. And the top 10 being the 10 commandments. Now, a lot of these other commandments I just read made it. And a lot of these other commandments that I just read, a lot of people do on a regular basis. And they steal, they kill on a regular basis. I mean, look at the gangster lifestyle. They stay killing. But somehow people respect the gangster lifestyle. And once again, I'm not taking up for anything. I'm really on the fence. I'm just bringing up certain things to let people see that while we're not educated enough about our sexuality and the different versatility that it has, we're so quick to be like, oh, that's an abomination. And oh, well, God said this is bad. And God said, don't lay with a man as you would a woman. Well, okay. But he also says, thou shalt keep the Sabbath day holy. Listen, there's so many things happening these days in life. People party Monday through Sunday. Do you hear me? They got events on Sundays, Saturdays, Fridays. So what is the Sabbath? So I'm just saying we got to make this stuff make sense. What that thing say? I mean, not that thing, but my bad. I say everything. Thou shalt honor father and mother. People cuss their mom and dad out so bad. I mean, you would think that they was a sailor. So we have to figure out that some things didn't make the top 10. And, and we talk, but we're not even worried. We need to focus. Y'all catch what I'm throwing. Y'all know what I'm saying. And lastly, but not least, is let's talk about the 7 deadly sins. You see what I'm saying? 7 deadly sins: lust, okay, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Okay, let's stop right there. Now look at this right here. What did it say? LGBT pride. So now the LGBT, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. But see, pride, according to the 7 deadly sins, is a sin. So still, I tell you, I'm on both sides of the fence. Now I'm back getting on them. So you know what I'm saying? So, and the LGBT, they're telling people to be proud of who you are, to take pride in your sexuality, to take pride. If you like the same sex, then be proud of it. But then they'll sit there and put a transgender on the face of the organization. Now you telling people to be proud of who you are, but everything that a transgender represent is that's the opposite. They was born one thing. They said, oh, this isn't right. I feel like this, that, and the third inside. I need to change who I am. I need to make it right. So they go and change who they are. But you're supposed to take pride in who you are. Well, who are you? I mean, you sat there and changed who you were or to be something else. Now let's just take religion away for a minute. Let's just say science. People love science. Even with science, you trying to say that science was wrong? You were naturally born this way, and you said, well, no, even science is wrong. I feel like I'm this inside my head. I need to go change, who I am. So now everything wrong. Science wrong, God wrong. The only one that's right are these people who are changing themselves. But then you get up there and talk about how people need to love yourself, be who you are, and all this type of stuff. And everybody looking at you like this right here. Be who you are. Well, weren't you once a man? Weren't you once a woman? Well, what is that? Why you got a breast and a penis? Now naturally, keep in mind, there are people who are born this way. That's one thing. If you're naturally born that way, but if you sit on someone's table and let them Jekyll and hide you, Dr. Jekyll and hide you, and now you want the rest of the world to just be okay with how you are. See, that's that stuff you got to watch out for. We'll talk about this later on in the month. Like I said, I'm almost at an hour. But and see, the reason I'm almost at an hour, it's just so much. And all this stuff I'm saying ain't even the tip of the iceberg, what I'm saying. Isn't that sad? In this 54 minutes that I have been running my mouth, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg with the LGBT. Now, as y'all see, I'm throwing in the Bible, I'm throwing in society, I'm throwing in my opinions, so that way y'all can't say, well, no, he just one way. I'm throwing it in. I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying? What the Bible is saying. Yeah, because the Bible is what it's saying. So I ain't going against the Bible. But then I'm also showing you what the Bible is saying. Because when people love to say, well, yeah, it said it's wrong. Well, it did say it's wrong. But guess it also said that stealing is wrong. Okay? It also says not honoring your mother and father is wrong. And it also says, how does it go now? I'm bad on verbatim, but I know it says until you get the log out of your eye, don't, something, you don't know that scripture. Don't be talking about other people unless you get yourself right. When it comes to homosexuality and sexuality, I just feel like people, if you don't believe in it, like you believe in your Bible, that is great. You believe in what the Bible says about homosexuality, that is your prerogative. I just feel that instead of casting out and ridiculing and stoning people who are different, just pray for them. Isn't that what God say? If these people are wrong, pray for them. You don't have to when you see somebody, face turn all up. You know what I'm saying? Like if people act like you ate some chitlins or something. Now when it comes to chitlins, some of y'all are just grinning. Y'all love all that pig's intestines in your belly. But then when it comes to a person that's a little bit different, you're like, and don't even understand. And then while you your child might be that way. You don't know he's sneaking off. Oh yeah, I'm going to hang out with Derek. Yeah, we're gonna play Nintendo and PlayStation. Oh, they're playing all right. You think that you don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of our sexuality. But these people right here, they're not gonna tell you that. That's why I'm just trying to enlighten some of y'all. Those documentaries that I told you about, find them. You'll never see men the same. I'm telling you the truth. Also, I'm almost finished. Yeah. I also want to say this for all the Bible thumpers and believers. I truly believe that if Jesus Christ was walking the earth today, you Bible people would talk about him so bad. Now, here's what I mean. I don't mean what you know of Jesus today. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why you read the Bible. But I think about when Jesus was on earth, they didn't have a Bible to read. Okay, here's what no. See, we have a blueprint of who Jesus is, or was, or is too. But those people on earth during Jesus' time, they didn't know. So if he was on earth today, being Jesus, being all nice, being all kind, loving women, treating men with respect, because back then, today, they kiss men on the forehead, being lovable with the men, being nice to women, because people look at men who are too nice to women weird, like, yeah, man, yeah, don't be so nice to her, keep her in check, touching men, washing men's feet. If Jesus Christ was on earth and we didn't know him, what we know of him today, I'm sure y'all will call him every letter in this right here. Yeah, I said it to a friend one time, and she didn't want to believe it. Yeah, because it sounds bad. Like, wait, no, that's Jesus Christ. But she's saying it because of what we know of him today. But if we were back in his time, those people in his time picked at him. Yeah, they didn't like him. They were like, he was weird. He was peculiar. He was all these things because they didn't know who he were. See, we know who he were because we have a blueprint called the Bible. Oh, okay, Jesus did. Okay, he washed people's feet. Okay, he kissed men on the forehead and maybe on the cheek, and he was real close with his disciples. Today, a whole bunch of men just hanging out together. Oh, okay, yeah. Now, see, some of y'all might say, "Oh, that's just his boys. That's his boys." Some of y'all might be like, he always hanging with all these men. I don't ever see. Was he married? Now, some of y'all, the skepticism with the Mary Magdalene and all this. But the point is, he was always hanging with the boys, his disciples. They were going to all these far away places together. Talking about they praying. Now, I'm not saying they weren't, but I'm just saying how we would think today. Like, where they going? Wait, just a whole bunch of men. Mm. There's women there? Ain't no women there? Oh. And they wearing what? They wearing these robes and stuff. Today, people will talk about Jesus so bad. So that's why I say that we need to understand not even the LGBT. That messes. Oh, well, like I said, I ain't trying to. Well, there is its own organization, but I just say just understanding sexuality, homosexuality, heterosexuality, bisexuality. And I think if we start to understand our sexuality, we will really get better to understanding us as a humanity and as humans. Because we'll understand that, well, everybody's not going to like the opposite sex. Everybody's not going to like the same sex. And we know that what the Bible says. But like I said, if we truly believe that it's an abomination, it's all these things, then we just pray for the people. That's all. I don't think that Jesus said, now listen, if y'all see a homosexual, yeah, y'all do my work and stone them to death and talk about them real bad and this, that, and the third. I don't think he said that. I hear a lot of love thy neighbor, but people modify the Bible so much that they got to modify it for themselves. So I gave y'all a lot of good tips for Tuesday. It was kind of long, but this is important because, like I said, this is June, and you all are going to see a lot of different things on TV and the media about this right here, LGBT pride. And I just want to bring a different outlook on what homosexuality is and how close it is to us as people than we think. Like I said, most people would be like, "Oh, that's them gays. Yeah, they always doing." But when you say that's those gays, it's closer than you think. You don't know. Remember, homosexuality does not have a look. I know we've been taught that. I get it. We all been taught that. It has a look. If you're a man, flamboyant, effeminate, all this stuff. If you're a woman, masculine and stuff like that, looking like a man. That's not true. As we see, many women can be the most girly girl, but like women. A lot of men can be the most boy, man's man, tough, bro, boom, boom, boom. I play sports. I work out in the gym. Yo, got the 6'10" pack. All the girls following me. I got the numbers in the DM. But they want boys. So we got to reprogram ourselves because once you do, now, of course, everybody's not going to do it, but I feel like a lot of people will start to realize I can't talk about nobody. Because while I'm talking about him, because he's a little effeminate, this guy over here, he masculine, but look, you'll find out that you can't talk about nobody. All right. So, yes, I think I talked about everything on my notes. I gave y'all a lot of tips to think about. This was a lot. But it was a lot, and it's very important. And like I said, next week, I got some more for you. So tune in the whole month of June. I'm going to be talking about everything that LGBT will not tell you. They don't want you to know. So there we go. All right. So really quick, I'm going to give you a good on what's going on in the store. As y'all know, Fly Entertainment is the brand. And a lot of y'all may not even know that I have merch. That's right. I have merch. So definitely going to check me out my website. If you go to the website, fly-entertainment.media, click on shop. Today, I want to bring up the Fly World Media mug. Yes, Fly World Media is actually the platform that everything radio, music, and dance is advertised, comes from. That is my media platform. So even this live today is brought to you by Fly World Media. I want you to check out the mug. I think it's a really great mug. It shows the logo of Fly World Media. It comes in different colors, as you can see. We have a white, black, and I believe we have blue as well. It's a nice little coffee mug, for your teas, for your coffee, for your drinks, whatever. It is dishwasher and microwavable safe. It's ceramic material. It does have a white exterior, but the interior, as you see, comes in different colors. Like I said, blue, black, and white. And yeah, so it's really fun. It's only $20, a really, really great value. And they make great gifts for people as well. You know, people always love a good mug. You can't go wrong with a great mug. So definitely go to fly-entertainment.media. Click on the shop area, and yeah, go ahead and get you a Fly World Media mug. It's, like I said, I got me one. Other friends have them, and they ain't got no complaints. All right. All right, everybody. So that is a little advertisement for you today. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in with me today as we spoke about everything or things that the LGBT, listen, LGBT. Okay, look, LGBT 3, 4, 5, and you know there's just so many letters. And you know what? And I heard somebody they don't call it the Wi-Fi password. Okay, now for those people, actually, like your generic password. You know what I'm saying? Like before you change it to make it your own personal thing, they give you all these numbers and letters. Somebody called it the Wi-Fi password mob. So I'm just telling you the truth. You know, like I said, they're not relatable. Nobody can't keep it with all these letters and things like that. So they're not relatable. So I'm gonna try to, break down some of these things for you for the month of June. Probably by the month of June, I might just be as crazy as everybody else. Well, no, actually, I ain't gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be very educated, and y'all are too. So when July come, I want everybody to be thinking a little bit different. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me go. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media. There's the website right there. Also, be sure to like and share and comment on my videos. Listen, if I said anything that you disagree with, that's okay. That's what this is for. Let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation. You know, I brought up a lot of great things, and I want you all to let me know what you think about it. If y'all think I am on planet Neptune, or just tell me. Listen, let's have a conversation. These things are happening on Earth. Let's not act like it's not happening. These, it's happening within our family. I'm gonna say this again: family, friends, co-workers, places we go, your doctor, your preacher. We'll talk about that. That's coming up. These priests, okay, these Catholic churches, Baptist, all the churches. We're gonna talk about it this month. All right. So yeah, be sure to follow me, and until next time, stay fly and stay educated. Yeah, we got to educate each other. It takes one. How they say? The more you know, the more you grow. And I'm telling you, some people don't want you to grow. I'm just saying. All right. Next time, stay fly, educated.